Ciao ragazzi, this is Katie Portanova, and you're listening to Florence and Me. I'm a lover of stories and all things Italian, and I'm going to bring you all that in this podcast. My intention is to inspire you to step out of your comfort zone and explore life and travel the world. Join me as I tell you my story and many others about Italy and my love, Florence. Andiamo! Ciao a tutti! It's Katie. I am back with a new episode of Florence and Me. And I'm so excited because I have finally finished setting up, well, my web designer has, setting up my new webpage for our Tuscan Wine Club. Yay! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It is going to be epic. If you are a wine lover, or maybe you just really want to dabble in Tuscan wine, these are small vineyards where you can try the wines and then sign up to go on one of my retreats and actually go visit them and talk to the winemakers themselves. So yes, I'm coming on here to boast about my Tuscan Wine Club. I'm very excited about it. I've talked about all of the vineyards, except maybe Cantina La Frasca. Maybe I talked about it after I came back in I think we talked about it a few episodes ago. So yeah, I'll give you the lowdown. So the reason why I thought of this and what I wanted to share with you all is these vineyards do not ship to big box stores like Benny's, any of the alcoholic stores, Target. I guess Target's not an alcoholic store, but whatever. Any of the big box stores. You cannot find it anywhere in the States unless you go there, you taste it, and you buy it from the winemaker. So I thought, why not get together a bunch of the smaller vineyards and see if anybody would want to give it a try. And I've had a lot of interest in this already. I'm so excited about this. So what is it exactly? It is a wine club, which you get 12 bottles total for the year. You get 3 bottles every quarter from a different vineyard. And you have the option to join me through Zoom for a virtual wine tasting to talk with other members about wine, about Italy, about your upcoming trip, tons of fun stuff. You'll also get 5 free travel guides, the ones that are on my website now, of the neighborhoods of Florence. And there's something else you get. Oh, I thought I had it all in my mind. Hold on one second. The reason why, again, I thought of this is because I've never heard of anybody doing this. I've heard of wine clubs in California and like all over the States, specific wine clubs for specific regions of California, but I've never heard of finding like having one specifically for a group or a region in Italy. I mean, maybe there's some out there. I don't know. But I have never seen it. So I'm like, why not? This seems like a great idea. I know all the vineyards. I visited them all. I know the winemakers themselves. It's really cool, like, to do. So you'll also receive quarterly emails. I'll explain the history of the vineyard, and what recipes are good to pair with each wine. And you'll get some intel on Italian travel with me. if you plan on traveling somewhere, you could even hire me to help you with your trip consulting, which has been booming, by the way. I've been getting a lot of inquiries and emails from people, thanks to my social media lady, Shannon. Thank you. Because I hate social media, if you didn't know already. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you'll get from this, and who knows where this will go. I mean, right now it's very small. We have 4 vineyards. You get 12 bottles for the year, and the price for the yearly price, which would be for the whole year, is $665 US dollars, or you can do the payment plan to this quarterly payments of $185. Okay. And yeah, so I'm really, really excited. So all of the vineyards are special to my heart. All the wines, there's some white wines, there's red wines. I don't think I picked any rosé right now, but who knows if this becomes something that everybody enjoys. These vineyards have a lot of different types of wine, so it would be really cool to try all their wines. Why not, right? So yeah, the doors open January 2023, so get on the wait list. You can go to my website and click on the little 3 dashes at the top right corner, and then you go to work with me, you go to Tuscan Wine Club and scroll to the bottom, and that's the wait list. So excited. Tuscan wine delivered right to your door. I mean, what else is better, right? And it might even entice you to even travel. Maybe you're still waiting for this whole COVID thing to get settled down. I totally understand. Maybe this is your time. Maybe next year is when you're going to join me on one of our retreats in September. I've got 2 retreats lined up. I've got one from the 2nd until the 9th, and that will be in Villa Antica Sosta in Castelfiorentino, where I'll be going this September. And then another one in Camporsevoli, where I was in June, from the 11th to the 18th of September next year. And that will be geared towards more women, so it will be a women's retreat with yoga, meditation, and some other really fun activities as well. Yeah, so what I've been noticing as I'm reading all these articles on new travel and traveling to Italy, traveling to Europe, there's a lot of chaos right now. If you listen to my episode before, yeah, we got 2 of our flights canceled in June. Waiting for my compensation, AirHelp, which is amazing. AirHelp. If you get any of your flights are canceled in Europe, airhelp.com. It is a godsend. They get me money. It's awesome. You can even sign up for their yearly membership, which I'm thinking about doing. I think it's like $230 for the year, and you get more money back, so they don't take a lot of fees out. Anyway, side note, AirHelp, amazing. So it's a little bit chaotic right now with travel. What I've been reading is like a lot of airlines and a lot of travel gurus are writing in their articles saying it's better to book nonstop. Okay, I can't book nonstop because to Florence there is no nonstop. There is no direct. I wish there was someday. But you can fly direct to Rome, for example, from Chicago. Hopefully they're still out there. I haven't looked because I'm just flying to Florence because I'm like, screw it. I'd rather fly to Florence. It's closer to my mother-in-law and everyone that I love. Florence. So the other thing is, instead of trying to check a bag, try to carry on. Now, I know that's hard for some of us that, for example, my friend Chelsea, she just got back from a month in Italy because she got married. She had 2 retreats, 2 of her amazing watercolor retreats. And for sure, she did not carry on. She did get her bags lost. Her mom and her bag were lost for a while, but they got them finally. That's another tip, okay? If you're traveling for 10 days, maybe you can go with like traveling with carry-on, but if you're traveling any longer, I understand. I usually don't carry on because I'm just afraid they're going to take stuff out of my bag that, like, toiletries that I don't pack right. You got to get the tiny little bottles. It's always kind of a crapshoot for that. Anyway, so I've been reading that. The other thing I've been reading and really surprised with, I mean, I knew this was going to happen. This has been in the works for a while. So there's a lot of towns, not a lot of towns. I'm going to say Venice is the town that is going to start charging people to enter the city. How much? I don't know yet. But because it's like an outside museum, I understand why they're doing it. Because of the because basically that town is for tourists. I've been there twice. I probably will never go back to it again. It's a beautiful city, but it is just full of tourists. So if you want to go visit it, great, visit it because it's something to see. It's beautiful. Um, yeah, but there's not a lot of people that live on the little island of Venice anymore. It's mostly just for tourists. Um, the and then I heard, and I don't think this is true. I think this was just like a survey, asking if you would pay to enter the city of Florence as a tourist. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even imagine having to pay to enter Florence because Florence is a bustling city like Rome. Rome, there's no way in hell that they're gonna charge people to enter Rome because I mean they could, but I don't know. I wouldn't go then anymore. But yeah, so there's a lot of talk on like how they're capitalizing on this boom in tourism after COVID because there's so many people traveling. I mean, so many people. I can't even tell you how strange it was to see Piazza del Duomo in Florence completely full, as if nothing has happened, as nothing has taken place over the past 2.5 years. It was the only difference. I'll be honest. The only difference is I didn't see any Asians, any Chinese, Japanese, um, big groups of people. Um, but the line to get into the Duomo was all the way around the dome. It was like insane. I can't even put my mind around it. How many people are traveling? It's great. I mean, it's amazing. I'm so happy that people are traveling to Florence and a lot of the bigger cities. But this leads me to my next point. Like a lot of tour experts and tour agencies, they're they're leaning towards doing smaller group tour groups because a lot of places are not allowing big groups to come in. And think about it, going with a big group of people from, let's say you are on a cruise ship and you stop in you're docked in Livorno and then you take a big, coach bus to Florence, which a lot of people do. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. But those types of groups, I feel that you lose touch with exactly what you're doing in Italy or in any place whenever you visit a different country because it's mostly just a check off your bucket list, right? Check, I visited the Duomo. Check, I saw the David. Check, I saw the Ponte Vecchio. And and it's not really meaningful in the end. I mean, I could probably ask some people, I mean, if you have any insight on this, like do you remember if you did something like that? Do you remember all the major and important things about that trip or that day trip to Florence or that day trip to Rome? I mean, I would think no, because I think back to when I was a student and we went to Assisi, went to Pisa. I don't remember half of the stuff because we were in a big group. We were like 22 kids and my director and then the tour guide. It's hard to get really a grasp on things. So my advice is going into rewind, Katie. Traveling with small groups of people, like the most 5, 6 people, maybe 8. Um, because at least you're able to really focus and understand what you're looking at, where you're going, the history, if you're interested in that, the culture, understanding how they made the pasta, understanding how the meat is cultivated, like anything. Like I don't that's for me that's important. I want to learn when I'm doing travel, when I'm traveling, when I'm doing travel. Um, and that's what we do on my retreats. we really kind of step back out of the picture of like, go, 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 let's go this way, this way, this way. Oh, turn here. We stop and we listen and we really immerse ourselves in the culture and in the atmosphere that we're in. Plenty of downtime and relaxation as well, but we're also learning and we're also absorbing the culture and absorbing what's around us and really feeling and living in the present moment, because that's all we have. That's all we have. And since coming back in June, I've done a lot of things to build my business up. I've opened a different bank account for my business. I've gotten a business credit card. I'm really focused on what I want to do. And this is what I want to do. I want to help people find places to stay in Italy. I want to help people find amazing experiences to experience. I want people to appreciate Italy the way I do. I don't want it to be a check off your bucket list. I want it to be a place that you visited and you remember fondly, and you remember that one wine tasting you did with a character of a host that told you all the stories of their vineyard and made you feel at home. I want you to remember when you walked through the gates of Monteferralle the first time. And think back to when this is where Amerigo Vespucci lived and how he lived and how this little town was like a little castle for the people inside it. I want you to look at the Duomo and kind of zone out with all the people around it and go, oh my God, Brunelleschi was a genius. I mean, he did something nobody else has ever done. And the history of that I'd like to do on my next episode. But anyway, there's just so much to be said about traveling in small groups, because you can really, you can feel the culture. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but feel it, you can hear it, you can absorb it, and you remember it more because you remember these moments throughout the week that you were present and that maybe made you cry or made you happy or made you forget about looking at your phone every 2 seconds. Anyway, that's my spiel. Those of you that live around me, switching gears, I am going to be at a Yin and Vin event at Yin Yoga Pilates. I get this out. Yin Pilates and Yoga in Lake Zurich, Illinois, on this Saturday at 2:30 to 4:30. And she only has 4 spots left. So if you are close by and you want to join, you better get on it. I'm really excited to share Monteferralle because I'm going to bring their wine for them to taste for some wine tasting. So Melissa's going to do yin yoga, and then afterwards we'll do a wine tasting. I'll talk about the vineyard, and we'll have some hors d'oeuvres. It'll be really fun. So yeah, a lot of things, amazing things going on, guys, and plan on coming back next week with a new episode about either the Brunelleschi's Dome, because I just think it's amazing, or somebody else. Somebody else meaning some other artist or sculptor. I don't know. Yeah, so I hope you have an amazing day. Buongiorno, buonasera, buonanotte, wherever you are. And I will see you on the flip side. A presto. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. I am beyond grateful for you listening to my podcast right now. I am so excited to share my journey of living abroad and all my stories of Florence and Italy and all the places in between that I've visited. If this has reached you in any way and you would like to continue, please subscribe now. Also, go check out my website, trulyitaly.tours, for all my travel experiences. Ci si vede. Ciao.